Welcome to the Issue Crew. It's the show where we all have issues, both with our lives and with each other. I am your host, Riely. I am the only member of the show here this week, but I'm not even complaining because I didn't think there would be a show this week. I did not think I could find somebody who was available to me so close to Christmas time. And I imagine the same issue will arise next week. Fuck you, holidays. But I found one. The man who's got nothing going on enough to be on a podcast on December 26th. Give it up for Kang.
Dude, all of a sudden I was just like, so did my fucking Discord die on me?
Oh, did your Discord die?
I had a brief moment where it was like 5,000 milliseconds of fucking ping.
Oh yeah, that happens to me on occasion. I thought you were ignoring me because I made fun of you.
I was like, yo, Riely, you there? Yo, huh? What?
I said you were the one man I could find who had nothing going on enough to be available on for a podcast on December 26th.
Well, either way, I would still make myself available to come on this show.
Wow, that's nice. I'm sorry that one of our members has a massive hate boner for you, so I can't make you official. but
honestly, you know what? I'd be willing to do it. I've actually changed my ways a little bit.
You changed your ways, Kang?
Yeah, I've learned a few things here and there.
No, because the thing is, unfortunately, I mean, maybe she'll open her mind a little bit, but I feel like Demi Gloom gained this impression of you outside of your political viewings, but there was spite from your political viewings that fueled her opinions of other aspects of you. So now she's convinced that you're just like not funny at all and you just laugh at anything that ever happens ever and you're just not entertaining, which I really disagree with, but that seems to be her impression.
I mean, the easy way I can describe it is people are gonna like see multiple versions of you.
That's true.
You have the happy version, the depressed version, the really angry version, the racially motivated and hated version.
Yep.
The list goes on.
The list goes on. Folks, let's talk about who won last week. Except for the fact that I closed fucking Firefox for some reason. Why did I do that? Why did I close the votes that I did pull up? I pulled them up, and then I closed them.
I think Firefox won this week.
Yes, Firefox is the largest issue in the galaxy, even though I closed it, and it's my fault. it did it, actually.
Blame the browser instead of user error. There you go, kids.
Just like how you blame the controller when you fuck up in a video game.
No, you gotta blame the stick drift, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's the drift.
But did you know they've actually patented a new thing?
Ooh, what'd they patent?
Hall effect sensors, or whatever the fuck they're called.
Okay, I don't understand that term, but what do they do?
So, you know how most controllers nowadays are like mechanical and whatnot? They have the fucking joysticks that are like mechanical or whatever.
Sure.
Well, Hall effect sensors rely on magnets. So less mechanical parts and more magnetic parts to hopefully combat stick drift.
That's smart. You see what happened to my Switch? I don't have any drift. At least I haven't noticed any significant drift. But my Switch Joy-Con fucked up in a different way, because every Joy-Con has to fuck up somehow. One of my Joy-Cons just has this thing now where it will not properly interlock with the Switch. Like, it'll do it enough to charge, strangely enough. But when I try to play my Switch in portable mode, it just constantly disconnects because it just decides that it's not in the Switch anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it is. So now if I ever have a reason to play my Switch in portable mode, which to be fair, I don't do much anyway. I kind of whenever I'm gaming mobily, it's usually on a phone or on my 2DS. Like I don't really play the Switch in portable mode. But when I do, like when I'm trying to make a video or something and it's more convenient to do it that way, I have to stand it up on the little kickstand and put the Joy-Cons in the controller grip. It's the only way.
Yeah.
But Folks, it happened again. After our most votes we've ever received last week, we did not receive any this time. So Kang, it falls to you. You alone declare who won the previous episode.
Okay, hold on. Recap me. Let's. What were
Yeah,
the?
I'm about to tell you what the issues are. I don't expect that you listened. I'm gonna tell you. So your issues. There are 5 issues on the board. Not gonna tell you who they belong to because that would cause unjust bias.
No,
So,
of course.
The issues were, although one of them is pretty obvious. I don't think it could be anybody else really. The issues are gaming in your 40s. I wonder who that could be from.
Yeah, I wonder.
The Merryweather heist from GTA 5,
Ooh.
moral grandstanding, glass, and sad pet videos.
Ooh, let's see here. If I'm gonna roll the dice and say any issues problem, I'm gonna have to say sad pet videos. That's just, as someone who loves their pets and whatnot, it's depressing to watch.
There you go. I won, folks. I got something out of fucking Kevin. I'm still mad about Kevin.
So what did Kevin do? Give me a little bit of a...
TikTok fed me. I was on TikTok, and my TikTok, I think I finally defeated the Full House clips. But up until recently, my TikTok was entirely Full House clips and pet videos. I say defeated Full House, like I was watching the clips in full every time they came up for a very long time. And then finally I was just like, no, I'm not in the Full House mood anymore. So I started skipping them as fast as possible so they would stop coming up. But I get pet videos. And TikTok introduced me. God, why am I so flimmy today? They introduced me to a small little black kitten named Kevin.
Aww.
And his little misadventures, running around being a silly little kitten who kind of looked like he was plotting evil schemes, and they put him in a mohawk once, and that was cute.
Aww.
And little Kevin's running around. I keep getting videos of silly little Kevin the kitten, and then one video comes up in the rotation. That's talking about how they're gonna take Kevin to the vet because he's not developing as fast as the other kittens. And then that comes up, and I'm like, oh man, I hope Kevin's fine. And I keep scrolling through TikTok. I get a couple more like random cute nothing is wrong Kevin videos. Then suddenly I get Kevin's owner sobbing at the camera and informing me that Kevin the kitten is dead.
Oh no!
And that had been the case the whole time, and TikTok fed me his entire catalog of cute videos and then fed me the video where they told me he was dead.
That's depressing, man.
So yeah, the fucking Mo had already plugged his shit, and then he mentioned TikTok, and I was like, oh shit, there was an issue I was gonna bring in. Fuck it, I'm doing it right now. Fucking
It's
Kevin, man. Rest in peace.
You were just like, so you want another issue, eh?
I was just like, you know what? Doing it now. Bonus issue. Fuck it, we'll do it live. That's what I almost did for this show. That was my big backup plan. I'm glad it didn't happen because it would have been terrible. Because I know nobody would have showed up. What I almost did before I was like, let's just see what Kang's doing tomorrow. I almost, at the time where the issue crew was supposed to happen, did like a live stream by myself where I was just gonna bullshit a couple issues and then like hope people called in on Christmas night, which I figured out like, it's a very low chance.
Yeah.
And this would probably suck pretty bad. That might end up being what happens next week. I don't know what Mo's New Year's plans are. It's not like anybody else shows up at this point. This is just me and Mo. Basically, Demigloom's got some situations going on. I get it. I understand. But the rest of you, you're on notice. Demigloom is fine. She has understandable circumstances. Perhaps if I wasn't selfish, Andrew's circumstances would also be understandable. But I don't think he's fighting hard enough for Monday nights off. I just don't think he is. I think he's I think he's overhyping how much effort goes into trying to get Monday nights off. I don't know.
I don't know,
Something
man.
about it.
But
This is me and Andrew have talked about this, by the way. I'm doing a bit right now. I'm not like being shitty on purpose. I was being shitty earlier about Demi not wanting Kang in the show, but that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm actually shitty about that.
I mean, here's the thing: you have winners, you have beggars, and well, whole 9 yards.
Oh, ooh, Kang making some veiled attacks.
Well, not really. I mean, it's like, sure, like I respect Demi's decision to not have me on, but
I don't know. I feel like we could win her over. I feel like her cold heart could be melted if we really try.
I mean, I personally wanted to congratulate her for going up and fucking confronting Ben Shapiro. That shit was fucking amazing.
Yeah, that was an intense moment. That was beautiful.
I was scrolling through like my fucking Twitter. I all of a sudden, wait, nah, that can't be that. Yeah, it is.
That's her. That's yep.
I was sitting there just with like a big giant fucking smile on my face. I was just like, holy shit, she actually did it. Based.
she faced the demon himself. She came face to face.
It was like a Dark Souls boss.
It's like the Dark Souls of political debate.
One lonesome warrior stood up. It was a sight to behold.
She tried to define womanhood, and Ben Shapiro just kept doing her bit, doing his bit.
Being the beta male
he does a lot of talking over. He's not. Well, I mean, it's his show, I guess. Demi's just some like fucking little peon who came up to his Q&A. So like the fact that he even humored her for as long as he did, I guess, is one thing. But he really does just like talk over people and not let them get a word in.
Yeah,
because Demi Gloom was trying to say that like a woman is somebody who exhibits womanhood, and womanhood is a set of characteristics traditionally applied to females. That was the full point that Demi Gloom was trying to make, and she got through the woman is somebody who fuck, why can't I use words, exhibits womanhood. I couldn't come up with the word exhibits. Somebody who exhibits womanhood. And before she can define what she means by that, Ben Shapiro just does like a minute and a half fucking stand-up comedy bit where he's like, that doesn't make any sense. That's like saying a tree exhibits treehood. A dog exhibits doghood.
Dude, if I were there, I would have just yelled at him, just like, shut the fuck up and let this person say their piece. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that was pretty epic.
Yeah, that put a smile on my face knowing someone actually stood up to the big bad Dark Souls boss himself.
It was beautiful. It was very beautiful. But folks, we got a show to do. And because I'm too high to think of the issue that I planned, and I need a minute to rejigger my brain, I'm going to put Kang on the spot. Kang, what's your first issue tonight?
So I figured maybe if we were to do a Christmas edition of the Issue Crew, I would probably have to say
we're a little late on it, but we can still do it.
Okay, we'll do the day after Christmas edition of the Issue Crew.
Well, this doesn't come out until Saturday, so it'll be like December 30th.
Well, at the time of recording.
At the time of recording, it is the day after Christmas, yes.
But if I had to pick out a certain issue, not leaving your decorations up until New Year's.
Your issue is not leaving your decorations up until New Year. Okay.
See, it's like Christmas should be like a time where it's like you spend time with your family, you relax, you open presents, you have fun, you fuck bitches, you get money.
I don't know about that, but okay.
But shouldn't like...
Well, I guess if you have like a girlfriend and you celebrate Christmas with her, you probably fuck bitches and you do get money. That part is true. So yeah, I guess that checks out.
But it's like, can't you just take some time, not worry about decorations, and just like have a little bit of fun?
You see, I guess you're right. I think part of, you just said it and initially it just like triggered my the holidays are the holidays they are, and you should not be looking at other holidays when another holiday is coming up. But yeah, I mean they're close enough together that it's like, yeah, just fucking relax for a while. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
My fight or flight response is like, no. You got to focus on that holiday.
no. You gotta. New Year's is up. We gotta get the decorations up for New Year's. Jesus Christ!
But putting Christmas decorations up before Thanksgiving, then it's to the gallows.
Yeah, of course. That's kind of like
good.
that's kind of like November 1st. You're in retail. All of a sudden, you hear on the radio just like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" like start playing. Then all of a sudden,
a lot of people have canonized that like once Halloween is over is when Christmas can begin, and it's like no, there's a whole major holiday in between Halloween and Christmas. Fuck off.
yeah.
Let Thanksgiving happen first, and then you can break out Mariah Carey. Then we can melt Mariah Carey out of the cryogenic freeze she goes into after every Christmas season.
Right? I mean, it's like, come on, don't get me wrong. All I Want for Christmas Is You is a great fucking song, but it's like, wait till at least like the end of Thanksgiving, maybe December to start playing it.
At this point, like, yeah, maybe wait until December because it's only a couple more days, but like, if you let Thanksgiving lapse, then you've done well. And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, come on, the poor fucking people in retail are having fucking PTSD, fucking Vietnam flashbacks from having to work retail with like all the
you
fucking
think they want to hear
shit.
fucking All I Want for Christmas Is You over the radio during Black Friday when people are fucking trampling each other to death and they're fearing their lives? You think that's what they want to hear?
Right? I mean, it's like, come on, poor little Johnny's in the other room screaming like a fucking madman because fucking All I Want for Christmas is starting to play. He's having Vietnam flashbacks. It's like he's on the front lines out there.
Not again! Not again! You can't do this to me again! Mariah Carey, get out of my head!
It's like, you ever watch that movie with Charlie Sheen and Willem Dafoe, Platoon?
No, but that's maybe one of the most interesting actor combinations I've ever heard. I'm gonna have to watch this movie.
Oh, it is a great fucking movie. There's like a scene where
are they like leads, or are they both just like in it?
They're leads in it.
Okay, Willem Dafoe and Charlie Sheen. That's an interesting co-lead situation.
It's like fucking Willem Dafoe's like trying to run away from like an enemy ambush. They're all fucking shooting him. That's just like the poor fucking people working retail. It's just like they're all like Willem Dafoe. They are getting trampled.
I'm so glad that I stumbled upon this like shitty call center job that I hate myself enough that I don't try to leave it and do other shit. Because honestly, I understand that even though retail would pay a little bit more and has better benefits, I don't want to fucking do that.
Oh, retail is a fucking nightmare.
Like I could go work at Walmart for probably more than I make now. But it would be hell.
Honestly,
and all the health insurance and stock in the world wouldn't change the fact that it's hell.
Oh, you want to know what's like the worst part about like looking through some of those jobs? It's like
what?
It's like, okay, you get they get in the meeting. So it's kind of like, all right, you're in the meeting, you're going through all the bullshit, and it's just like they start out with just like, we are a family here, and as a family, it's like, all right, I feel like someone fucked up somewhere.
No, I mean, I feel like that's almost never true of retail jobs. A lot of people would say it's almost never true of any job, but like, I do feel that is the case at my workplace to some extent. That'd be overselling it to say that we're a family. But I would say that the staff is very down to earth, and I think everybody kind of gets along in a way that a lot of people would not speak of their supervisors. I've never really had a contentious relationship with any of my authority figures.
No, yeah, I think it's like the funny thing is just like all the memes I see online. It's just like, so it's kind of like, so guys, we have some good news for you. Oh, you guys are gonna double my pay? Even better, we're gonna throw you a pizza party. It's like, so what I'm getting at is instead of giving me extra pay for busting my ass off, coming in on weekends, coming in on weekdays, opening, closing, all this bullshit, all I get is a pizza party.
A pizza party that's thrown for like 50 people, so you only get like 2 pieces of pizza.
Right?
Like maybe if there was enough pizza that I could just go animal and eat as much as I want, maybe I, the fat man, would accept that reality. But when I'm taking small pieces of what is just enough for everybody involved, it's like, I feel like I'd rather we ixnay all of this. And like, because like a lot of jobs will do like a bunch of like promos and like food days and shit, and it's like, what if you just erased all of these? And you took the budget for that and you just distributed it into our paychecks. That would be, I think that would be preferable, actually.
And then it's just like, no, the fucking manager just like comes up with like some bullshit, like he's bullshitting his way out of it. Just like, well, you see, we could do that, but then there would be a lot of paperwork. There would be a lot of discussion.
And then we couldn't keep up morale with our pizza parties.
Yeah, I mean, it's like morale's fucking down.
So, like, I mean, if you work like a shitty retail job, you want to kill yourself at any price, right? Like, you could be making $35 an hour, and it's like, man, I do have a lot of money, but God, fucking customers, man.
These fucking contemptible motherfuckers that I just want to rip their fucking heads off,
Yeah, I listen to like there's these podcasters named Jake and Josh of Hey Jake and Josh, the podcast network, I guess is what you would call it, and they either are or used to work in retail. I've been listening to their catalog out of order, and it kind of shifts between like, oh, they don't have jobs right now, oh, one of them does and the other one doesn't, and it's like always retail, because I guess that's just what they've always done. And there's just a lot of very heated hatred for the retail lifestyle.
Right? It's like,
so I've heard the people on the front lines just being like, fuck this, man.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I sit there just like, I just sit there and just like, dude, I respect you motherfuckers a lot for having to go out and put up with this shit.
Yeah, I've more recently, like, I guess, like, when I was a kid, I never really thought about that, but now I'm like, yeah, man, those retail workers, fuck.
Like, they really put up with a lot of bullshit, and I feel bad for them.
Like, I put up with a lot of bullshit in, like, my call center job, but, like, I understand that it would be 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
Even as the fucking tech guy who people bother all the time, like, at least, like, people aren't usually rude about it, because my customers in that case are internal. so they're not like being pissy about it, so I don't have to deal with a lot of like customer anger, except for sometimes I work the phones and they yell at me, but then just like whatever, we end the phone call, that's it.
It's just like, you ever get yelled at? It's just like, why the fuck is the X, Y, and Z not working?
Yeah. You know? Never in my tech position. There have been phone positions for sure. But in my tech position, I think most people are pretty reasonable. I think there have been people who will like rush me, but like they're never like mean about it. There was one person who tried to threaten to go over my head, like recently, and that really fucking sat poorly with me. But it didn't matter. I just like proved what I was saying was true, because I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to give super details about what I do. But I had told her one thing that I wasn't exactly sure of. There was a number, I will say, and I quoted her this number. And then she asked me about it again, and I had to give her the real number, which just so happened to be a week later the same number that I had given her previously, when I wasn't sure and I was just telling her a number. so I had to be like, okay, I might have miscounted the first time, but it's this many now. And then she like freaked out on me. Not like it was over text, so she wasn't like yelling at me, but like it was just like that's not correct. I think she said like I'm not slow, like she was trying to imply that I was trying to trick her in some way, and assumed she was stupid and would fall for it.
It's just like that ain't
She,
accurate.
yeah, she just like goes off. She's like, "Who can I speak to resolve this issue?" And I'm just like, "Listen, here's the thing. I fucked it up last time, but I'm showing you where I'm getting this now, so you know that it's this many. Fuck off." And that's where that's at. And I've had positive interactions with this person since then, but I just in my mind I harbor a slight amount of aggression that I the shit that I do is stressful, and everybody knows that it takes a long time and it's fucking annoying to set up. But they all fucking hound me because they need it to happen. It's really weird to be super vague, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
They all want me to get to them, and I can't get to them right away. And they all bother me about it. But most people understand that I give them their answer, and they're just like, okay. Like, they're not going to, like, push at me. They're just like, hey, what about that thing? I'll get to you. Okay. Maybe a couple days later, they're like, hey, what about that thing? And it's like, almost. And it's like, okay.
Done.
Okay. But this person just being like, trying to like be like, who can I speak to resolve this issue? What? Let me speak to your. She fucking Karen'd me, essentially. She was asking to speak to my manager.
Oh my god.
And I, as much as I was able to quickly and easily smooth the situation over, I harbor some level of spite that she even floated such a thing.
I honestly low-key wonder just like how many closeted alcoholics were created just by people having to work retail. I really do wonder.
I think, or a lot of them, I'm sure.
And it's like you sit there, it's just like, dude, I feel bad for you fuckers. I see why you motherfuckers get drunk now.
Yeah, people drink at work. It happens at my shitty call center too. That comes with its own set of problems, and so more than a few people have drank their way through those problems. I've seen it. There's a liquor store close enough to where I work that they can go there on like lunch break or whatever. So yeah, people definitely are drinking.
Fucking A. There was a guy my dad worked with, I think sometime in the 90s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Homie was popping perks and fucking drinking whiskey on the job.
Oh man, for whiskey and perks.
I'm sitting here just
are you
like,
supposed to mix those two things? I feel like you're not.
I feel like you're not as well, but homie had problems and homie drunk them.
Some people have problems and they do drugs. Man, I talked to the most like well-spoken meth head I've ever seen in my life recently.
Oh, good.
This guy, I was just like leaving like the corner store, and there was this weird homeless guy who talked to me, and I hate that and it freaks me out. But like I'm very bad at exiting situations like that efficiently. So I'm having this like whole conversation with this dude who's like quoting the Bible at me, and I'm just like, yeah, man, God, pretty cool. and he at some point tells me that he smokes meth. And it threw me off, even though he looked like a gross homeless man. Like usually when people are on meth, you can there's something off about him.
Oh yeah,
this guy was the most like well-spoken, gross homeless man I'd ever seen in my life. There was nothing wrong with his voice. Like he didn't speak like he was all drugged up. He had a very clear voice. And he was telling me of his faith. And he was like, "Yeah, I smoke a little meth sometimes."
I think it's like some people like whenever you hear people using meth, it's like you see them like not. I would say not use it properly would be a good way to describe it.
Oh, so if you use the meth properly, it wouldn't turn you into a monster creature, is what you're saying?
Well, yeah. I think of it this way.
You as an expert on the correct use of meth are letting us know.
Fucking easy way for me to describe it, ADHD meds they put us on as kids, like the Concerta and whatnot.
I guess those are often compared to meth.
Yeah, that's basically prescription grade meth.
Fair enough. I
Most
had that shit prescribed when I was young. I took it
Oh,
for a
I had
long
it
time.
prescribed too. I was fucking forced to take it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I kind of evened out pretty quickly. Like I think I got on it young enough that it actually changed my brain chemistry, which might be a little fucked up to think about. But like I it got prescribed in kindergarten because I had like behavioral problems. Like I don't know if your kindergarten had this. Some elementary schools and kindergartens and shit will have like a behavioral system based on the colors of a stoplight. Did you have that?
Oh yes, yeah. I think we had that going all the way up to like fourth grade.
I believe I only had it for kindergarten. No, I actually had it. No, I remember I did have it for all of elementary school. It just never presented a problem after kindergarten.
Yeah,
So in kindergarten, I was getting yellows and reds all the time, and I guess I went to a doctor or whatever. They determined that I have the ADHD, and they gave me Ritalin, and eventually they gave me Adderall. But I don't know if I even needed that upgrade because I feel like very quickly afterward, I kind of just learned to calm the fuck down. Like I said, I think the drug might have altered my brain chemistry a little bit because the compulsion to be a fucking insane person just didn't exist anymore after a while, even if I didn't take them.
there is a thing I looked into with it. It's called like they call it like ADHD masking. I think it is.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
like
my ADHD masking became on point after a while.
pretty fucking much. I mean, it's like you got to think of it this way: they're giving us these drugs, so then they basically like hide us being crazy delusional motherfuckers for the day.
My problem with authority now, like whenever I get in trouble, my thing became instead of just being like rowdy and always causing issues like I was in kindergarten before I started my Adderall. My issue is always like I'm super respectful to authority figures in a way that especially back in high school others were not. So I kind of just built this like rapport with my teachers. They're like, "Oh, he treats us like a human being. He'll actually have a conversation with us and be happy that we're in the room."
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so so we're just not gonna fuck with this kid, even though he's not doing his homework.
Mm-hmm.
And but my one thing has always been, and this has happened at home or not at home, at school and at work on in life. I've done this at my current job, which is wild. Because this is how you can tell the relationship with the authority figures is a little looser than it is in other jobs. Because if I was at like fucking Walmart, I probably would have just been terminated for this. But
Oh yeah.
but so I'm always like I'm cool. I'm not causing any problems. But in the circumstance where maybe I'm involved in problem causing, like, sometimes maybe I'll have like a side conversation that's a little too loud, or like something will come up that it will be a problem. And the response to that problem will be unreasonable, and I will just actively refuse to cooperate. like
Mm-hmm.
like the top example, like in school, like I think I was having like a too loud of a conversation in my journalism class, and the teacher tried to make me leave the room. I was like, no,
What?
I'll stop. Like, and that's genuine too. Like, if it's gotten to the point where you're going to threaten to make me leave the room, I will just stop.
Yeah.
Like this is done now. But no, it's like the insistence that I have to go because that's what's been declared. And the end of the particular story I'm thinking of is we go back and forth for a little bit, and then like a few minutes passed of silence after she threatened to write me up, and she said she wouldn't write me up if I left then, and I left, and then I came back at the end of the period, and she told me she wrote me up anyway.
Oh, what a lying
I
cunt.
know. I fucking know. That was bullshit.
All right. When I was in school,
hmm
some of my teachers were like amazing motherfuckers. They had a good line of communication with my parents. It's kind of nice to know that they
See, that
have
was
that.
always bad for me because all my grades were shit, and then I would get in
Yeah.
big trouble at home.
Hmm. But there was one time I would say in I think it was elementary school. Yeah, elementary school in the 5th grade. Now, I remember the 5th grade like the back of my fucking hand because I fucking of all the years of school, I hated 5th grade. The teachers I had in the 5th grade were fucking assholes, honestly.
I can't think of a year of school I've hated. Like I was extremely lucky with teachers up until like late high school. I had a couple bad ones, but by the time you're in high school, you have like 7 teachers, so one bad one is not that big of a deal.
I was lucky going from kindergarten to the 4th grade. 5th grade was shit. 6th grade was okay, good. 7th grade was meh there, and 8th grade just like completely fucking plummeted.
For me, it was like I never had like bad teachers, or like at least if they were bad teachers in terms of being real teachers, they weren't bad like attitude wise to me, so I was fine with them. But it was once I got to middle school that my grades really tanked, because I think honestly maybe this is just me coping for me being like a lazy hopeless piece of shit who just wouldn't do my work. If the alternative was death, I still wouldn't do my fucking homework. But I feel like I was kind of screwed over because in elementary school I did very well, and I was kind of like considered like one of the gifted like honor students.
Oh, yeah.
And through middle school and early high school, I was sent to a school that was like all that. And I feel like I was not qualified to be there. And that's why I immediately fucking tanked the moment I started middle school. Like, brutally tanked and just like remained on the fucking floor all through middle school and early high school. And I think my grades started to go up a little bit when I went into a normal public high school and took normal classes. So I think there is some credence to, I think being in the fucking honor school really did fuck my shit up. Like perhaps if I had gone to regular middle school and gone at a regular pace, I would have been okay.
Honestly, what I think school has really taught me is just like, well, sure, you're gonna learn a bunch of bullshit. It ain't gonna be useful. You're probably gonna probably not retain half of what you learned in school. But the one thing you will learn is never trust people. That is, dude. Ever since I've been in school, the only thing it's taught me is I've gained depression, trust issues, understanding why most people are fucking like socially like fucking like antisocial motherfuckers. I understand it now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I remember every time I had a problem in fucking school, I would go to the principal. I would let them know, hey, X, Y, and Z is happening. Can you do something about it? Oh yeah, we'll do something about it. Literally nothing got done about it. Hours, maybe minutes, maybe days later, it gets physical. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll now step in because apparently this and this happened. We probably should have listened to you in the first time. We were only bullshitting you. We were trying to give you a false sense of hope. Shit like that is what pissed me off about fucking school.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't even ever really in those situations, which seems wild. Because I am the most bullyable person on the planet. Like, I'm fucking, I was always fat. I was always a massive nerd. And, like, people kind of made fun of me sometimes. But there was never, like, I never had, like, a bully, I don't think. Past, like, elementary school. I think there were a couple kids in elementary school that I was not a big fan of and were constantly harping on me.
Oh,
that
I had
could be considered bullies. But beyond that, which is when it's supposed to get worse, according to pop culture and how they portray different points of school, is that bullying is supposed to get worse as you progress through middle and high school, worse than it was in elementary school. I kind of stopped having bullies after elementary school. Like, there would be people who would tease me, but like, I always just like played it off. I think I just have like fucking natural. I have like all of my like the memes about like D&D stats. Like I think like I all of my points are in charisma. Like, like I'm weak, I'm ugly, I'm everything else that could be boosted by stats. No points allocated. They all went
Oh
to
yeah.
charisma because somehow, some way, in a way I don't understand. I don't know why everyone likes me. I don't get it. I don't to myself. I don't seem very likable, but for some reason, everybody likes me, and that has really helped me kind of coast through life. That I have this demeanor about me that even the people who look at me and feel compelled to make fun of me kind of grow to like me because I just have this effect on people.
Yep. It's kind of like not only do like people come to like, it's like when they come to know you a little more, they understand, oh, you're actually a really cool guy and you're not even that much of an asshole from what I heard. It's like
You see that it's kind of three layers for me because people will see me and be like, look at that fat nerd, let's make fun of him. And then they'll interact with me and it's like, oh, he seems cool. But then when I become actually close with people, they realize I suck and they hate me. All of every person who people know is like a close friend of mine also hates me. Like Jason, we've been friends for many years. He's editing this podcast right now, maybe providing some sort of commentary on the screen. I wouldn't doubt it. And you know, we're very close. I would say we've spent countless hours of our lives talking on Discord and making content together, and even hanging out in real life on occasion. Even though he is a recluse and does not like to go outside and be with people,
do I blame him?
No, I would never blame him at all. But he likes me. He also hates me, and that could be most of my close friends. You could describe that way.
Oh yeah. Honestly, you have probably done stuff that have probably pissed me off. Like I haven't even noticed. Either way, you're a good fucking friend, dude.
Now I wonder, like, what could I have done that would have pissed Kang off?
I don't know. Like I probably like would have no fucking idea because like, you know, ADHD brain, we kind of forget things.
I can fuck with him. He's distracted. He won't know.
Oh, you motherfucker. But yeah, it's like when people get to know you more, it's like they understand like, oh hey, you're actually a really nice guy.
Yeah, I guess it's just like I'm not a confrontational person. At least until I'm very comfortable with you. But if I'm not very comfortable with you, then I'm always just like really nice and like I guess that's just what's gotten me through life is I'm very capable of being a nice guy. And I get through to people. I'm a nice, weird, charming little man that everybody seems to like for some reason. Everybody likes me but me.
I've actually been told because of my laugh is contagious.
You see, Demigloom would disagree.
Oh
she
no,
hates it.
Demigloom would probably like if I ever met Demigloom
Oh, and
in person.
Redox. Redox also didn't like your laugh. He said that in the MoCast comments.
Oh well, Redox. Do we really have to care about what Redox says?
No, Redox. Honestly, every day I get closer and closer to just banning Redox from my chat. Like I'm so glad that he is invested enough in my content to continue to consume it.
Right.
And I value him as a fan, but then he's in my live stream all the time telling me to talk about Jackie. I don't want to talk about Jackie, okay? I don't care about Jackie. Jackie being, if you're familiar with Monkey Jones lore at all, Jackie is the woman who Asperger was arrested for assaulting. And we there's like a whole situation there. Asperger, I don't want to talk about Asperger, but like I have a somewhat positive relationship with Asperger. And Redox constantly wants to talk about like the drama that happened fucking 5 years ago. He's always talking about fucking Jackie all the time. And I'm just like, I don't want to talk about this.
So homie's digging up the past, I see.
Yeah, and it's like the first couple times I humored it because I'm into internet drama. and I don't know a lot of other people who know about this situation. So he brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, I guess here's my take. And then we kind of discussed it, and then he just keeps bringing it up all the time. He wants me to name all of my Pokemon Jackie. He just he wants so much Jackie with him.
The funny thing is, like, I bring it up, like you bring up how Demigloom hates me. It's like I can imagine if I ever met Demigloom in person, she would probably kill me.
I don't know about that. Demigloom is passive.
She would either probably kill me or kick me in the nuts.
Demigloom is only capable of violence upon one person, and it is herself. We love you, Demigloom. But so we've been on not leaving your decorations up until New Year's for about 30 minutes. I think we talked about it for 2. Do you have any other points before we move on?
Honestly, one point I have is just leave your fucking decorations up, people.
Yeah,
so
who
the
cares?
fuck what?
Yeah, like you're gonna fucking go out on December 26th and be like, I must take down all of my decorations. Especially all the people with like the crazy ass like lights and shit. Like I wouldn't take that shit down until it was time to maybe like put up some decorations for Valentine's Day. Honestly, I feel like.
I mean, honestly, it's like if you have like the crazy fucking HOAs, like I wholeheartedly understand HOAs are the most like Nazi motherfuckers out there.
Libertarian government, if you ask Maddox.
But I understand it. HOAs aren't easy and you gotta do fucking shit you don't want. But come on. Decorations are decorations. Have fun. Enjoy your Merry Festivus.
Merry Festivus.
So, Riely, I believe you have an issue on the board.
You know what? I'm doing it. We established early on, folks, we discussed. I don't know if this is... I think we brought in a repeat issue or 2, but I won't make too much of a big deal of it. I'm not going to go crazy. But so, we had an old show where we did the same thing. It was called Largest Issue in the Galaxy. We kept the list. We made it a point not to repeat issues. And when we came back to doing issues on this show, we came to like, are we going to allow ourselves to repeat issues from the past show? Are we going to keep that list and not repeat it? Or are we just going to start a new list? And we decided to just start a new list. So old issues are on the table, and I'm dipping back into an oldie tonight, folks.
Oh, dear God. Are you at least going to add on to it?
I don't know, because I did that episode years ago and did not re-listen to it before deciding to do this, so we'll see.
Oh, dear God. All right.
Well, hey, that audience has got to be almost entirely new at this point. It's been years. And a lot of people have fallen off. Although there are some long-timers. I think I saw a tell of Dawn, who was a person, a female, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, who left a couple emails on Largest Issue. I think I saw her around somewhere in like an Issue Crew comment section or something. So we've got some long timers, I think. Shout out to Dawn. Our email address is in the description if you want to write again. We'd love to hear from you. But
shout out to the OGs out there.
Shout out to the OGs. That's right. But so my issue, folks, and this is keeping on the Christmas theme. I don't know if my second one will, but I figure, like last time we did kind of half a theme. Me and Mo both brought in video game issues for our first one, and then we just went off the rails for the second. So kind of half a Christmas theme here. My issue, actually, it's about a Christmas thing, but it's about its context outside of Christmas. But it's still, my issue is the artificial scarcity of eggnog. I love eggnog.
Honestly, dude, same.
Eggnog is a nectar from the gods. It's such a good beverage. I'm not even talking alcoholic eggnog. I've never even tried that. I was gonna do it this year, but then I didn't go through with it because I was making a purchase of an unreasonable amount of alcohol late at night while high. So I decided I ended up having the self-control and canceling the order. But
yeah, understandable.
But Eggnog, just regular, straight style. Delicious. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, creamy, sweet beverage. But the issue about it is that you can only get your hands on it, like, maybe it starts around Thanksgiving, and then, like, once Christmas is done, gone.
Yeah.
No eggnog. For at least 10 months out of the year, you can't get your hands on eggnog. Why? Why is that the case? Why have we created this context for eggnog where it can only exist during the holiday season?
Well, I mean, because don't forget, eggnog is pretty much like people know it's a Christmas thing.
Yeah, but like, why though? Because it's delicious. I would drink it in June if I had the power to do so, but I don't. And why don't I? Why don't they just keep selling it?
Yeah, good point.
Because I guess like I assume sales go down after the holiday season. Like, it's become, this context has arisen around eggnog where it's a holiday beverage, and to that end, because I guess like it's really rich. It's the kind of thing that people wouldn't buy very often anyway, because it's like,
oh yeah,
full of sugar and garbage. So it's, this context has been created around it where it's a holiday drink, and everybody's like, okay, so I'll buy a couple pints of eggnog or whatever during the holidays, and then there you go. That's my eggnog for the year. But then there's people like me who's like, I wouldn't drink eggnog all the time. I understand that would probably kill me very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
But, every once in a while, it'd be nice. If I'm in the mood for it, I'm at a nice corner store in, like, April or whatever. Grab myself a little pint of eggnog. But I can't do that.
There's a, if you've ever seen it, there's, like, cinnamon fireball flavored eggnog.
That sounds... That, like... There's like an angel and devil situation on my shoulder right now. Where the angel's like, don't fuck with the sacredness of eggnog, and the devil's like, that's interesting.
I think I had some of it maybe a few years back, maybe last year, I think. It is fucking good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to.
It's fucking amazing. I promise you will not regret it. Best fucking drink I've ever had. I give it a 10 out of 10 on Yelp.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to give it a look-see. But if I want to have that, Kang, I better do it quick, because eggnog season's almost over. And once eggnog season's over, then it goes away forever. Until the next winter season. We might all be dead by then. And then what am I going to do? I didn't drink that much. And I never drink that much either. Every year I'm like, okay, next year I'm going to like create circumstances where I can obtain large amounts of eggnog and enjoy it while it's there. And then I always like fuck around and don't have money to buy eggnog. And then my mother buys like 1/2 gallon on Christmas and we share it. And that's like all the eggnog I drink. And I'm like, fuck. Now the eggnog's gone again.
Not again!
Not again! I don't even know if it lasts till New Year's. Is it still out there? Can I still fight? Is there still time for me?
Probably. I mean, probably. Or you could probably look up a recipe and make your own eggnog at home.
Yeah, but that's like hard. You know?
Good
point. I want things to be easy. I could make something at any time, but then if I could just have it instead, that's better.
Yeah.
They say things taste better when you do hard work for them. Not true. They actually taste the same.
That is a fucking lie. Why do you think Why do you think I enjoy taking fucking Kahlua straight from the bottle some nights?
Ooh, spicy. Yeah, but it's just like any product that's like holiday themed. I'm trying to think of other examples because there are other examples.
Ooh, I got a good one.
Okay.
Pumpkin spice coffee.
Yeah. That's like fall Halloween times. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, well, pumpkin spice I think is around forever now because white girls are too into it. But like, pumpkin not spice, like regular pumpkin flavored things, are like they're around in the fall and then you can't get them. Like Dunkin' Donuts has a pumpkin muffin in the fall, and that's shit. That shit slaps.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever had a muffin that's like pumpkin flavored.
Yeah, no, pumpkin muffin, bro. Top quality stuff.
No shit, I
Uh,
might have to keep my eye out for them.
but yeah, so the pumpkin muffin at Dunkin' Donuts, I wish I could get that at any time of the year. They also have pumpkin flavor for their coffee. I get the frozen coffee at Dunkin' Donuts because I don't actually like coffee. But I like the idea of flavor of coffee. Like coffee's too bitter. Like regular, like I have to dump like garbage upon garbage into a coffee to make it appetizing to me. So like
Yeah.
the idea of like the taste of coffee that might come from like a fucking coffee flavored hard candy that's like coated in sugar, like that's the flavor that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dude,
I so I get frozen coffee, which is all like filled with sugar and bullshit. And during the fall, you can get pumpkin flavor pumps in there, and that's the top quality stuff.
it's like I don't mind coffee that much. It's like, yeah, I'll drink it hot whenever I have to, but it's like honestly, the fucking cold coffee is just amazing.
For me, it's like coffee is better when it's frozen. Like when the
Mm-hmm.
coffee is in its regular liquid form, it's not as good as it is when they turn it into a frozen confection.
Now, if it's in its regular form, yeah, that's good. Whenever it's like cold outside, but whenever it's like the fucking warm summer day, dude, I'm gonna want a fucking iced coffee.
Yeah, it takes. I have to do some chemistry whenever I make a hot cup of coffee. Because I always have to, like, dump some bullshit in, like, sip it, like, still too bitter, dump some more bullshit in. There was one day where I got too antsy because I was, like, running late, and I got to work with, like, 2 minutes before I could log in. And I'm like, "Oh, I really need a coffee." And they had free coffee that day, so I made a coffee, and I was like, I don't have time to do my usual chemistry, so I'm just going to be very generous. And then I dumped, like, a shit ton of sugar and cream in there. And it was too much. I flew too close to the sun.
Jesus, man.
It was really bad because I didn't want to put in too little because then it would have been completely unpalatable.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was just like, okay, let me just be generous here and make absolutely sure that I don't fuck it up. But then I found out that there's also the fuck up in the other direction, where if there's too much in there, it becomes impossible to drink because the amount of sweet that it is makes it feel like I'm swallowing rocks.
Yeah,
So,
and then it's probably 1 second you'll hear fucking doot, doot, clear.
yeah, and then I die exactly.
It's like for me, whenever it comes to like anything caffeinated, the funny thing is, the whole theory is like when people with ADHD they have like caffeine and whatnot, they say like, oh no, you shouldn't have caffeine, you'll get way more fucking hyperactive.
I always heard this might be just like a weird schoolyard rumor that I took to heart for a little too long. But I was under the impression that there was a rumor spread, and I don't know if there's any amount of scientific truth to it remotely under any circumstances. But I heard at some point in my young life that caffeine had the opposite effect on people with ADHD.
It does.
That it makes you tired.
Oh, dude. I had shit, I think one morning I had like maybe like 2 cups of coffee. Dude, I was fucking I was out cold. I was like fucking just like sleeping so goddamn much.
I think they work less on me. I don't think they don't work. Like if I drink like an energy drink or whatever, like it will keep me awake. But I'm also very capable of fighting it. Like if I down like a monster and then I decide I actually want to go to sleep right now, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny. It's people just like sometimes I'll drink a coffee before bed even. People ask me like, "You drink fucking coffee before bed?" I was like, "Yeah, fucking why?"
Yeah, if I want caffeine to work, like maybe one energy drink. I don't really drink coffee unless it's the only thing. Like if I have access to energy drinks, that's the coffee that's the caffeine I'm consuming is energy drinks. And like I'll drink one and it will be like maybe a little bit better than if I hadn't drank one, but mostly the same. It takes like two or like maybe even 3 if I have not had enough of a tolerance break to fucking fuel me. I used to, and I stopped doing this very quickly because I realized like this is going to become a problem. There was a point where I was drinking them every day. I defeated that fairly quickly. Like it was only like a couple months phase of my life. And then I was like, this isn't really doing much for me unless I drink unreasonable amounts. And if I drink unreasonable amounts, I will die. So I'm going to stop doing this. But
could you say it was going to be an issue? Maybe a large issue?
Yeah, and energy drinks. Funnily enough, energy drinks was I think it was the first winner of the new era of the issue crew when we brought issues back. I think that was Andrew's first issue was energy drinks, and that won.
Huh.
So yeah, energy drinks are a large issue. We've proven that on this show.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after I defeated the daily addiction, for a while it became when me and Crow Royalty, well, I guess we still are, but we do it a lot less often just because of unfortunate scheduling situations. But we were, for that very brief time, actually doing, me and Crow Royalty doing our Power Rangers podcast, Megazord Radio, on a weekly basis. And we recorded it Wednesdays at 9 p.m., and it always took us hours for the first few episodes. Like, eventually I kind of got into a groove where, like, if an episode of Power Rangers wasn't crazy interesting, we could knock them out in like an hour and a half. But for the first couple episodes, they were multiple hours every time. So I kind of got used to that being regular. Like I wouldn't get to bed until like midnight or whatever. So I would drink like 2 energy drinks before every show.
Oh, good lord.
And then there was one night where it worked too well. And I was like fucking around on Discord until like 4 a.m.
But yeah,
fucking eggnog, man. I just want it. Like I hate that you want things like limited time shit in general is fucked up, but like eggnog specifically, it's like it's this beautiful thing that I can share with my family on the Christmas times. And then it's all gone, and I just can't have it, and I want it. Okay, I want like, eggnog forever.
It's like, this is a big one. You know, like, whenever McDonald's does, like, the McRib?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so, like, I get it, making it at a limited time thing. It's like, it's good because it does boost sales.
It's fucking marketing. Which, like, I understand that marketing needs to happen, but also fuck you, though, because I want the thing.
Right? It's like you're really gonna piss people off at the same time of making a shitload of fucking money by not giving the fans what they want.
Yeah, I'm a big eggnog fan. I just want to have eggnog.
Right?
Big eggnog does not understand how much I want eggnog. Okay, they just keep it on the shelf. Just put one up for me. Send it. I shop at the same store. Just send them one bottle and be like, set this aside.
Set this aside for this man right here.
For this man right here. Just for being a loyal eggnog enthusiast. Yeah, eggnog, a very favorite holiday drink in this household, and I think about it all the time. In times where I'm not allowed to have it because the world is not producing it for me. It makes me very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But Kang, give us your next issue.
Ooh. So, I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but I think this one's a really good one.
Okay.
So you're buying, say, maybe one of the latest, like, Transformers from, like, Hasbro, right?
Okay.
And this goes for mostly all products. Quality control.
Your issue, I would imagine, is lack of quality control.
Yeah, lack of quality
control would be good. So yeah, lack of quality control.
Yeah, so I've been going through some of, like, the Transformers groups I'm in, like, various subreddits and whatnot. People have been getting some of the new Transformers and whatnot from, like, the whole Legacy Evolution line.
Yeah.
And people have been having issues with the plastic, fucking parts breaking easily. It's like if you're gonna retain your fans, like wouldn't it make sense to have like some sort of fucking quality control for your fucking toy copies?
Yes.
It's like I've been seeing people have issues with some of the white plastic starting to yellow, and they're saying it's because of what the plastics they use for the toys and whatnot in general. It's like, come on. You've been at it making these toys for like fucking like how long? Maybe like well over decades now.
Oh yeah, Hasbro's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Fucking like you got companies like the company that Hasbro works with, Takara Tomy. They honestly make the best fucking toys out of like both companies. It's like if you truly want a superior product, you would have to fucking like literally fucking like try to get the shit from Takara themselves.
Yeah, sure. Hasbro is not as proficient.
It's kind of like so you know how like I know you know like the fucking toys from Power Rangers and Super Sentai.
Oh yeah.
I remember like having like the RPM high octane Megazord.
Oh, that's rad.
Mm-hmm.
I've never actually. I'm for somehow crazily. I was a Power Rangers fan, and I had like little to no Power Rangers toys. Like the most Power Rangers toys I've had in my life is right now.
I had some of the Power Rangers toys as a kid, but I watched the show.
Yeah, like I was not a toy kid. Like
yeah.
I had like I had like a toy box when I was young. Occasionally I would fuck around with some toys, but I never like was super into toys. And like by the time I discovered video games, they got rid of my toy box and I didn't care. Like because I was playing video games. I was
honestly depressed when they got rid of my toys.
I was kind of like, no, because they let me like take out shit that I wanted first. So,
I didn't even have that option.
Because like they knew I only cared about a few of them. So like, I was just like, yeah, let me take this like teddy bear I like or whatever, and then they threw the rest away. Didn't ask me about my fucking whale though. I'm like traumatized over this stuffed whale. Like I haven't stopped thinking about it since it. I don't know if I've even confronted my mother about this, but I was I was so genuinely wounded. This is a few years ago. I think I was like 16 or something. And I had this whale plushie that I had had for years. It was in my closet, which like. I guess everybody's like, it was in your closet, so what? You weren't doing anything with it. It was like, yeah, but it was like right there in my closet. Like whenever I looked at my closet, I would see this whale, and I was happy to have that whale there, and I liked that whale. And it was sentimental to me in part because she bought it for me. And then one day I just found it in the trash, and it was too covered in trash juice to recover.
Like what the fuck?
And I was so heartbroken over my fucking whale plushie that I had since I was like fucking 5 at SeaWorld, and my mother bought it for me. And I continued to be glad that it was in my life up until fucking age 16 when she just threw it in the trash.
Dude, as a kid, I had like a whole box of Legos. Like the first box of Legos I've ever had.
Yeah.
One day I gave them to my sister because she wanted to borrow. So I thought nothing of it like for the last like good while. And I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll go ahead and get those Legos again. Turns out they threw them away.
Well, I mean, at that point, if your sister was complicit in the throwing away, you had surrendered them to her.
No, but here's the thing. I gave them to her so she can borrow them.
Oh, you let her borrow? Okay.
Yeah, I let her borrow them. All of a sudden, like, I was like, what? I gave you something to borrow them. Or, I give you a thing, you borrow it, you're supposed to give it back. Oh, but none of them were salvageable. No. When you have something when you borrow something from someone,
Salvageable? From what? What did you do?
I don't even fucking know. But it's like when I give you something and you say you are going to borrow it.
Was there like a house fire that you're not mentioning, where perhaps
No.
some Lego meltage might have occurred?
No, not
That seems like a
not
weird
even.
thing to say, that they were unsalvageable.
I was like, I'm sitting here like, what? And it's kind of like
That makes me think there was some sort of accident where they were damaged, and none of them were undamaged enough to keep around.
it's like I have no fucking clue what happened, but I'm sitting there just like, so I give you something to borrow. Your first instinct was to, instead of giving them back to me,
Last Christmas, I gave you my Legos.
you son
The
of a
very next
bitch.
day, you threw him away.
But I was sitting there just like, so I give you these things. Your first fucking instinct is to throw them away. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But yeah, that's just some good old quality control problems for you.
Yep, lack of quality control. Lack of quality
Lack of
control
it.
on your sister. You need a better quality sister.
Hey, my thing over here is defective. Is there any way of me getting a refund for this fucking shit?
Hey, the sibling company association. Hey, Storks, Stork HQ. You dropped
Listen,
off. You dropped off the
dropped off
sister here.
you dropped off the wrong thing at the wrong address. Can we discuss this?
Yeah, can we get a product switch here? I think there was an issue with the shipping. I understand the original's already been distributed, I'm sure, but just let's just swap them out. Just get me another one, and we can call it even.
Yeah. So, Riely, would you what do you got for us next?
Okay. You're lucky we're already over an hour in. These issues are supposed to be 15 minutes. God damn it. 15 minutes plus. That's the directive, Kang. You slippery.
Wait, hold on. Have we done 3 so far?
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, no. This show came over time because we got into very long, and I think good aside tangents. To be fair, I'm glad they're in. I think this is a good show, but the actual issues been a little bit thin. But folks, my issue. Shit, I had one and it was gone. Now I don't remember what it was. No, you can't do this to me, brain. I'm on the hot seat. I need to do the thing now. You can't just leave me hanging like this. Mind. My issue is background noise. Folks, sometimes you're recording a podcast and you think everything's all cool and everything's gonna sound fine or whatever. And then Kang opens a can, and you can hear it on the mic, and then it's just like, oh no.
The urge to crack one yourself just grows.
The urge to crack one yourself just grows. That's the first problem. Yes. And second of all, it's just so annoying, and it's like the kind of thing where you can edit it out, and it does get edited out. Sometimes you don't catch it, sometimes you don't care enough. And it's just oh well, there's a fucking the sound of a cup jangling. There's the worst thing is air conditioners.
Oh,
because
yeah.
in a lot of situations you need those because you live in Florida, and if you're me, but then it's hard to edit out the noise, and then in the podcast you're just gonna have that steady behind you, and it's whatever, it happens. There's even higher echelon shows that are popular where you can hear an air conditioner in the background. People kind of get it, but me having me having dealt with audio for so long, I've developed just fucking shit that I hear and it just triggers me. And AC noise is one of them. So I always feel like a dickhead when I publish podcasts with AC noise because it bothers me. So I know it will bother others.
It's like the one thing that drives me nuts is like when someone goes out of their way to genuinely piss you off with those problems.
What, just like make background noise on purpose?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. I've had that before. Either that or just like refuse to create a situation where it'll be better. Like there's Kathy who like refuses to get and or set up a mic, and even when we accept that she's using her fucking inbuilt computer mic, she doesn't even have the decency to remember to have her headphones so that we don't echo through her fucking microphone. So like her microphone is like every time she fucking moves, we can hear it. And also when she doesn't have headphones, when we talk, we can hear it, and we can hear the fucking unmute and mute noise on Discord.
Doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-dum.
It's like Kathy. We've had several like vicious arguments where like Kathy will like leave because we yelled at her too much to fucking get in headphones, and it's like, Kathy, we're not asking for much here. We're not. I'm not even saying you have to buy a mic. I'm saying you have to remember to have headphones so that when you use your shitty inbuilt mic, we can't hear ourselves and all the Discord noises.
It's just like, look, no offense, we're not trying to argue, but plug in your fucking headphones.
Yeah, Kathy, where are your fucking headphones?
It's like, I don't want to sound like I'm in the middle of a fucking echo chamber.
Yeah. We accommodate for Kathy. She's an A-lister here at the Issue Crew. We move things around for Kathy. We move the goalposts for Kathy. But on occasion it's too much, man. And just having shitty mics, it's unfortunate because like I feel like there are a lot of mics where it's like this would be fine, like your voice sounds fine, but every fucking move you make and every breath you take is caught because the mic is not properly calibrated because it's shitty.
Also, every fart you rip gets like picked up on most mics, and it's kinda.
What kind of fucking Hiroshima farts are you dropping? They're getting caught on your mic.
No, it's like
I don't think I've ever had that happen before.
It's like you're telling me you've never had your ass so far away, and when you let it rip, it does not pick it up.
I don't think I've ever had my mic pick up a fart.
I am shocked because
I don't think let me tell you. Happened.
Let me tell you, my man. Ripping ass. It's kind of ripping ass.
Real.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. You know, I looked at another thing on Discord for 1 second, and my brain just completely dumped out all the context of the show we were doing. I checked one other Discord chat, and it just like fucking dripped out of my brain like the melting wax of a candle. Background noise. Yeah, in this fucking line of work, even though it's not work because we're not getting paid because nobody listens to this shit. But in this line of doing this, it's one of the hardest things to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so annoying. Like, and it's the kind of thing where like you can get rid of it, but most people with time in their lives aren't going to catch, or most people with like other things to do in their lives aren't going to catch the dumb little background noises, and then it's gonna go out, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Nice fucking glass cup, bro," and you're gonna be like, why? Sometimes Mo Diggity breathes very heavily, and you become autistically obsessed with cutting every breath out of the podcast.
Right? It's like, no offense,
until you give up because you don't care anymore.
I love Mo. He is like fucking great, but sometimes when he just like, whenever you hear one faint breath, it's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, for me, it's like it became like a PTSD reaction where like I got so used to combing through the MoCast audio and cutting out every fucking giant Mo breath that whenever I'm in a call with him and I hear him breathe, I'm just like, no. Don't do this. No, don't do this to me again. No. But I stopped caring. So,
yeah.
Because nobody actually cares about breathing, and everybody understands that people breathe. Like, I read an article I literally like Googled like, is it like too much to cut out breathing? And what I read was like, yeah, like everybody understands that people breathe, so it's kind of over editing to go cutting out breaths.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, that's fair. It's just Mo Diggity's breathing was so heavy that I was just like, must destroy. And for like 2 months, I just would spend hours combing through the MoCast and cutting out all the breathing.
Ah,
Yeah, background noise. Fuck that shit. Kill it.
agreed.
And that's the end of the podcast. We did it. Yeah.
Yay!
Kang, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on Twitter at GripRipper43.
Whoa.
I'm sure there'll probably be like a little link in the description for that shit.
Yeah, if I remember. There, I think there was an episode with you in it that I published and just like forgot you were in. Like I didn't put featuring Kang in the title. I didn't put you in the description.
Like, damn.
I
It's
think
like-
I think the description acknowledged you were there, like in the write up, like about the episode, but I didn't like put you in as a guest link. I didn't put you in the title. I just
It's just like, sure, like we got this like a reoccurring guest.
yeah, there's
that
this
comes
guy,
on.
you know him. You don't gotta worry about where you can find him.
It's just like I'm like the fucking like the background character in the fucking like rom-coms, just like sitting there, just like, yep, that's me.
That's me. Man, I really wish. I remembered seeing that we had a voicemail, so I wanted to check real quick, but it is just silence, it looks like.
Hello.
Wait, what the fuck?
Friend.
Why do I have a voicemail from O'Reilly Auto Parts on the
What?
issue crew voicemail line?
O'Reilly.
I assume this is just
Auto
hold
Parts.
on. I gotta figure out what the fucking O'Reilly Auto Parts voicemail is. Let's just shut up so it gets cut out with the silence. But I'm gonna listen at this real quick. It's just dial-up sounds. Why do I have an email or a voicemail from O'Reilly Auto Parts? It's just the dial-up noise.
Little do you know, it's just like an ARG, just
They
like
called
waiting
me.
to start.
That's like the sound that you get when you try to call somebody's fax number, but they called me.
Weird.
What's the suspected spam one? It's also dial-up!
The world is just dial up.
Why are they sending
Always
me
has
dial-up?
been.
Yeah, no, every voicemail since that one I played a few weeks ago is just either nothing or dial-up sounds. I don't know what's going on with this voicemail line.
You've got mail.
You've got mail.
The
folks-
old days of AOL.
Folks, you can find me at linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. It is your one-stop shop for all Riely content. Couple particular shout-outs. Detour Ahead is a show I do every week with my good friend Alex. We pick a topic, we talk about it. Sometimes we don't stay on it, but that's fine. That's why the show is called Detour Ahead. You get it. It's built in. It's by design.
You said the thing.
Except the thing. I did say the thing. And you can find that one on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, probably other podcast platforms too. Mainly Spotify and Apple are the two places I know where it is. And also on YouTube, on the Colo Chew YouTube channel. It's pretty good. Kang was on the most recent episode.
Pleasure to
It's
be
good.
on that episode, by the way.
Hell yeah. It was a grand old time. And also shout out to Riely Radio Live, my project, which I did not do this past week and probably won't do this week just because of holiday shit and nobody's available to call in. But I'm going to try to do it every week, at least once a week. The Riely Radio Live show where I go live on my YouTube channel and I talk and I get people to call in so that I'm not talking to myself the whole time, which I'm bad at doing. And we just have a little impromptu, kind of formless, fun podcast. And it's a good time. I think the last one, we had like Demi and Jason on for a lot of it, and we had a good conversation. The one before that, I just had my friend Jack, and it was a one-on-one for most of the time. Then there was that first one. I think you were on it. Mo was on it. It's been pretty good so far. So Riely Radio Live, everybody. You can find it on my YouTube channel, Riely and Friends, or if you want to hear a little cleaned up version, if you don't care about being there live, what I do is after the show, I record the audio on Craig, and then I take it and I do basic editing work. I cut out the silence. I do a noise cancellation round, just to make things a little bit cleaner. So if you missed the show live, you can check out a nice, clean, re-upload, archived version on the Riely Podcast Mega Feed, which is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and because it's been up for years, probably 1,000 more podcast platforms that just get their libraries from iTunes. So anywhere, reasonably most places where podcasts are found, the Riely Podcast Mega Feed is available, and Riely Radio Live archives are on there. And that's it. Thank you all for listening to the Issue Crew. My issues were the artificial scarcity of eggnog and background noise.
And I'm Kang, and my issues were quality control and shit. What was the other issue?
Lack of quality control and not leaving your decorations up until New Year's.
Not leaving your decorations up till New Year's.
And we'll see you next week, hopefully, everybody.
Auf Wiedersehen. Hopefully we don't get cancelled again.
Again, we did have an episode taken down for hate speech.
Oh yeah, that's right. We
the time travel episode. For those on the audio feed, you can go look at it because it's on the podcast feed still, but on YouTube it has been taken down for hate speech. See you next time, folks.
Farewell, Tata.